you're going to go through extreme highs and lows. And Kyle mentioned that I'm a triathlete. Really, I'm an endurance athlete. I just did a 30-something mile run 2 weekends ago. I do 50-mile runs. I'm doing Leadville. It's a 100-mile run, 6 mountain passes at high altitude this year. Actually, next weekend, I'm supposed to go do a 12-hour run. Somebody just invited me on the way up. So, but going into that mindset, I actually want to rewind a bit to how I got into Ironmans and some of the difficulties and like the challenges and show how it correlates to an entrepreneur. So I was already a cyclist. I was a runner. I actually did competitive MMA. I got ranked in jiu-jitsu for a while. And from there, my sister called me and she said, "Hey, Nick, I'm signing up to Ironman Cozumel. Can you believe I'm doing an Ironman before you?" And I was like, "I know what you're up to. You're baiting me into this." And so before I hung up the phone, I signed up. There was one small glitch, and I didn't know how to swim. In fact, I didn't even like putting my face underwater. That's how uncomfortable I was. And I was like, so I'm like 2.4 miles. I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't seem that far when it comes to like cycling or running. But I'm like, swimming, that seems like quite a bit. So I was like, I better get my act together. Same thing in entrepreneurship. You got to figure it out. So I hire a Navy swim coach, and I go to this pool, and she's like, swim one length of the pool. And I'm like, all right. And when you say swim, like, move my arms, like freeze out. She's like, whatever you think it will get you to that side of the pool. I'm like, got it. So I swim all the way down to the side of the pool and swallow a bunch of water. I'm hanging onto the wall. I'm like, that was miserable. Like, I got chlorine in my nose. She's like, get it together. She's like, we'll work on it. And I'm sitting there hanging on the wall. I was like, I got to swim 2.4 miles. And I'm like, I'm trying to do some basic arithmetic of figuring out how many laps it's going to take me to equal an Ironman. I'm like, and once I went over 100, I was like, this is not good. This is definitely not good. But there's a mentality I have. It's something I like to refer to. It's pretty blunt, but it's called embrace the suck. In that moment, I'm like, embrace the suck. You're going to go through hell over a couple weeks. And when you have these types of lows, you end up being in a pivotal moment in life. And so, of course, I swim down the other length. I swim back down. I keep on going. I think I was drowning the entire time, I'm pretty sure. But I show up the next day, and the day after, and the day after. 4 months after, I somehow got suckered into a triathlon camp in Hawaii. And I'm out there. It was probably one of the most difficult things still in my life that I've done. Each day was with these top-level Ironman athletes that were trained to the max in their prime shape. And each day was just gruesome. Like one day was a Queen K ride, which is it's a 112-mile bike into 30-mile-per-hour winds, then climb up a mountain. And then I get off the bike, and then I had to run up to the volcano, which is another 30 miles of running. So that was one day. But the day I was worried about the most was this 10K ocean swim. So I haven't even swam 2.4 miles at this point. So quite the interesting feat ahead of me. So I get out there, and the coach, she's like, don't worry about it. You'll have a kayaker or a paddleboarder. They'll be with you. They'll give you water. They'll hand you your gels. I'm like, all right, worst case is, just, head in. But be careful, because when you head in, there's tons of sea urchins and, a lot of the spots that, you don't really have access to the shore. And I was like, I'm not really sold on this idea right now. But she's like, Nick, just go out there. You'll be fine. I'm like, all right, great. So I start swimming. It's maybe a mile and a half in, and a pod of dolphins join up. I'm like, this is amazing. I got these spinner dolphins swimming around me, entire pod for maybe 20 minutes. And I keep on swimming, getting water, getting gels. And then it finally hits a point where I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm staring 300-400 feet down in this water. I see a cliff and some rocks. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've been staring at this for the last 20 minutes. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm getting kind of tossed around. So I'm like, all right, just take a break, relax, see what's going on. I come up, and it's a washing machine. All my support's gone. I'm like, what the hell? Look at my watch, 5.2 miles in. I see an island out in the far distance. I'm like, all right, well, I got a gel. I'm out of water, but I got this gel. Take the gel and just, keep going. Yeah, what so I take the gel, and I see in the distance on the island, there's this big radio tower in downtown Kona, so that's what I'm aiming for. And so I'm aiming for it, but I realize there's currents, so I'm zigzagging. By the time I get there, it ends up being a little over it was 7.22 miles, so exactly a mile over what I was supposed to swim. But when I get there, my coach comes up to the beach and hands me a beer, and it was my last stroke I had in me. And she hands me the beer, and she goes, "Nick, I can't believe you made it." I go, "What was my other option?" So that was a little bit of a mindset that I deal with. And the theme is in entrepreneurship, you go through this over and over and over again. And I've heard it, I say embraces suck. There's a guy named David Goggins who's an ultra athlete. He says, callous your mind. And really, that's what it is. It's like, keep on pushing yourself, pushing your limits, and then you just become accustomed to it.